How are you guys doing? Welcome back to the channel. It is Wednesday. It's the day before Thanksgiving, and me and Mason have this giant contraption pulled in here. This is a it's a wood chipper brush destroyer 5000. It's a Band-Aid model 250. It's basically just a big ass wood chipper. It's like very, very heavy duty. It's got a 4-cylinder Perkins diesel engine in it, and we have a hole in the block right there. Rod tried to exit, then come over here on the other side, and there's another gigantic hole in the block. So yeah, I can dang near put my fist through that one. I don't really know what caused it, but it definitely needs fixed. I think he said he was just using it and it just boom, blew up out of nowhere. This is a very hard engine to find. It's Perkins 236, but we have one located, got a motor for it right here. This is out of, I believe, a power unit. I have noticed some stuff already that is different, like we're gonna have to change the oil pan out. We're gonna have to put the oil pan out of that motor, as long as everything's good on it, onto this one, and then we're going to have to probably switch the engine adapter plate out. And other than that, I think everything's pretty much the same. I haven't really found anything too different. Maybe like a pulley or two up front, and the wiring harness, what wiring harness it does have. And then the other motor does not have, I don't know what this is right here, a little vacuum pump. We don't need that on the wood chipper, so we'll have to take that off, put the block off plate on it. But other than that, looks like it's gonna be pretty straightforward. It's on some kind of rails here, so I don't really know if we can kind of, I mean, my thought process is that we can take our paneling, or maybe just the whole thing, really. I really don't know at this point, but I think this whole thing will just kind of slide out here once we get it unhooked back here, so it'll be easier to work on it. So yeah, we're just gonna dive right into this. We're gonna start with pulling the exhaust off of it, pulling some paneling off, and just seeing if we can get this thing opened up a little bit, probably drain some coolant out of it, and we'll kind of go from there. I've never changed the motor in one of these, but I have worked on equipment like this before, and it's all pretty simple. If you can do anything on a pickup truck, guys, you can pretty much work on one of these. They're not really that big of a deal, but something like this, you do want to be careful with like torque specs and stuff back here, especially with this being a machine like this. I mean, this thing would literally eat you alive, and you just want to be careful. Anything you're unsure about, probably a good idea not to get into. But like I said, I've done a lot of stuff on machines like these, skid steers, etc., etc. So I'm really not going to do much of a time lapse because I don't know how long this is going to take. So yeah, we're just going to start pulling some paneling off, and we'll just kind of go from there. All right, guys, jump forward about an hour and a half probably. We have the front of it pulled off. Had to pull the top off in one piece. Got the exhaust off, broke both those bolts off, but I think we're going to be able to get them out on that one. Got the fan pulled off, radiator off. All this wiring right here just kind of pulled off and off to the side. And yeah, there's some significant differances in some stuff, but I think I mean the long block's the same, so I mean we're gonna be good. It's just we're gonna have to switch some stuff out, like the crankshaft, pulley is different, but this one has like 3 bolts in it. That one is just one nut somehow. I don't really understand that, but the timing cover is identical. But we think we can just get away with switching the fan out, and then the alternators are the same. So our depth should be the same if we switch the fan out to the radiator. Oil pan, like I said, once again, Mason's working on getting this bracket right here loose. And after he gets that loose, then we're gonna pull this back plate off right here. And then we'll be ready to start undoing the motor itself from the, I don't really know what you even call this. Whatever this stuff is, it runs on 4 big belts. It's got like a clutch in here. Whenever you start the machine up, and then you just basically turn it on and it runs this belt. There's a hydraulic pump down there, it runs as well. I assume probably so you can tilt something back here, but it's coming along. We haven't been working on it very long, just trying to take our time and make sure everything's gonna work. Kind of cool how this right here works. Pull that out a little more. Need to come out some more. But basically this is just on sliders, so we just take this loose, and you can already see the belt's got some tension off of it now. Hell, Mason, that's probably almost enough, just a little more. I think it was a 3/4. But we just take this, take this loose, slide the motor over that way, and then we can get all the belts off. Then we can take this contraption off. I don't really know what it is. You might just have to take those out. Might take that one out too. Pretty cool really how it works. So interesting. Isn't it interesting? Very interesting. And you guys can see how easy this thing will slide when he gets over here. That's probably enough. Can you go anymore? Stick it in that hole right there. That might be all she has. All right guys, we got the little clutch deal pulled off of it, and we did find a little bit of destruction in here. You can see here, the way this works is, there's like a little throw-out bearing right there on this handle, and that disc right here has teeth on it, and those teeth slide inside this, and they ride inside that. And the problem is, they all broke off at some point, so we're gonna have to get a clutch for it. But we gotta take this little adjustment arm off, and then we gotta take those two bolts in there, right there, those greasy guys, that one and that one over there, and then this collar right here comes out, and then we'll have to make some type of puller or try to heat it, see if maybe we can get it with some pry bars. I don't feel like it's gonna be that tight. I just don't really see it with how small that nut is. There's no way it's gonna be super duper tight. Then we'll have to pull the clutch off and get another one. Kind of sucks because those are like $600. Just kind of a rare item, something that's not produced a lot. So, and it's for this, so you know it's gonna be expensive. So right now we're gonna work on, well, here's the nut that came off of it. Right now we're gonna work on taking that arm out, and then we will try to see if we can get that clutch pulled off. All right guys, it is now Sunday night. We've just been kind of enjoying our time off really, and haven't really worked much in the garage. But we do have a little bit done on the wood chipper. Last time we talked was Wednesday night, and we were just getting the motor pulled off of it and kind of checking everything out, seeing everything we had to switch out, and we did make quite a bit of progress on it. We got the new motor on. We found out the clutch was broke, so we got to get a new clutch for it, but we got the new motor on with the engine adapter plate installed. Still got to put the flywheel on there. These engine adapter plates weigh every bit of 100 pounds, so they're pretty hard to put on. I got the starter on it, fuel system's completely switched over, intakes on it. It's all tightened up in the motor mounts. I am gonna have to switch the water pumps out because there's two different water pumps, so I'm gonna have to order a gasket set for the motor. Water pump goes here. This one has like an extra oil cooler on it. The oil filter housing is different, so I had to switch it out. This one has an added cooler. So the coolant, it runs coolant through that housing to just kind of keep it cool, I think, because this thing just sits here, has a load on it all the time, but it's never really out on the road moving around. So I think that's the reasoning behind that. Other than that, I had to switch. There's a freeze plug right here in this motor that I couldn't get out of the other motor, so I'll show you guys what I did. Since this other motor's junk, I didn't really care, but I beat it out the backside by just cutting a little hole in the block. There's already a hole right there, it's trashed. I didn't tear the head up or anything, so the head's still good, but we did just cut a hole in the block so we could punch that freeze plug out because it has a little nipple on it to go to the coolant lines as well. So yeah, pretty much just water pump put on, clutch on, then we can put the covers back on it and change the oil or add oil and fuel filter, oil filter. Hopefully fire this thing up and get it going and get it out of here. So still have quite a bit of work to do. I did have to drop the oil pan on it, and I'll show you guys that. The oil pans were different, and this motor has a different pickup tube oil pump in it. So I figured out I couldn't switch them out. Well, this oil pan won't fit in because the frame was hitting, so I had to cut the frame a little bit right there. So hopefully that's all right, and I don't have to brace it or anything, but that one just had a flat oil pan that wasn't as deep, and this one has a front sump deeper in the front, and the oil pan on that other motor, I was gonna just try to switch the oil pump out, but it was actually cracked and destroyed, so I couldn't do that. So Mr. Cat's been giving us a hand all day. This is all the bolts we got left. Oof, just all kinds of stuff, but Yeah, we have made quite a bit of progress on it. So hopefully that was entertaining for some of you guys. I know it really wasn't the coolest thing in the world, but I do also want to add in, we are doing, the white 2nd gen is down. We had a little bit of oil in the coolant ever since I put this thing together. I did have to put a head gasket on it as soon as I got it. I didn't get the head resurfaced or anything. I just kind of gasket slapped it and stuck it on. And I always just kind of had a little oil in the coolant, so we did pull the head back off of it. I know I didn't record much of this for you guys, but it's just kind of, I'm not just going to do the same content over and over again. You guys have seen us do hundreds of head gasket videos in the 2 years we've been doing YouTube, so you can just go check those out. But here's what the motor looks like. We've been getting a lot of stuff cleaned up under here too. It's because I'm really trying to clean this thing up. The head is getting O-ringed, and we are probably going to be putting a tuner on the truck. For those of you that are new to the channel, the truck has 150 horse injectors. They're right here. Let's see, 7x10 injectors. I'm going to be drilling the flow tubes out to 093, and then we're probably going to go with a Quadzilla. We're going to put a Quadzilla on it, and then we have our turbo that's been on it, but just for those of you that are new, I'll show you. It's a Billet 626513. Greg Turner in Greenfield, Indiana rebuilt this for me. He's a really good turbo guy, so if you guys ever need anything, well, he didn't rebuild it for me, but it came with the truck rebuilt. And you guys in the local area, hit him up for your turbo needs. But yeah, so pretty much that's where we're at with the white truck. I'm hoping once the tuner's on it, as long as everything goes good and it runs right, it should probably make like 550, 600 horsepower. If I had to make an educated guess based on the mods, I thought it'd be about 550, 600 horse. So then we're gonna immediately, I guarantee the clutch is gonna go out. We do have some parts over here that we got painted up for it. It's because I wanted to clean some stuff up. I got a black anodized grid heater delete for it. Painted the intake cover, painted the valve cover, painted the intake horn. Like I said, just cleaning this truck up a little bit. For those of you that are new to the channel, we bought this truck blown up, and I just kind of slapped it together with all the used parts I had. Didn't paint anything, and it just kind of looked like crap under the hood. Also got a new fan shroud for it. This one I had laying around, so we'll be going back together with a clean fan shroud. But yeah, I got a head gasket set inside the cab, and we will be putting this baby back together, and hopefully have it running. Probably head will be picked up tomorrow, so probably by like Thursday, Friday, we should have a video of this thing running. And in the meantime, we will be waiting on parts for this thing. We did do some other work over the weekend on a customer's truck, but it really wasn't anything too entertaining. Basically just put a drive shaft in a truck and a couple other small things to it, but nothing really worth filming, so I just didn't pick up the camera. But I'm catching up with you guys now, and yeah, so I just want to give you guys an update, how things are going today, where we are with the wood chipper project, and go ahead and give us a thumbs up, guys. Subscribe to the channel if you enjoy this content. We have tons of other videos as well, so make sure to go check those out as well. Follow me on Instagram, DylanLee73, and yeah, just really appreciate you guys tuning in, and we're about to hit 3,000 subscribers. I think we're at like 2,800 right now, so we're almost to 3,000, and the channel is just steady growing, guys. So do appreciate each and every one of you guys that tune in and support us, leave comments, stuff like that. It really does mean a lot, and yeah, we really love making these YouTube videos. It's probably one of the, I mean, there's nothing that I love more than just making a video. It's just one of those things. I encourage some of you guys, if you've ever thought about starting a channel, start a channel. It's a lot of fun. It's something that I always, well, how do I word it? Like, there's a lot of things that you can get interested in life, and then maybe it's just not so fun after a while, and you just kind of, eh. But YouTube has been that one thing for me that I've always been able to just, I gotta put videos out. I know I gotta do it. I gotta put videos out, and yeah, I just really appreciate all you guys watching the videos and stuff like that. And yeah, that's gonna wrap it up. We'll see you guys on the next one.